I know this is an obscure message, but if this episode of Buffy could just cut down on the detachable body parts in this episode, that would be great, because watched Doctor Who with detachable fingers, resulting in nightmares and all that. I watched Angel with detachable everything, so none of that shenanigans in this episode. Please. I'm begging you. No, but hello everyone, Liam Catterson here. This is episode number 4 for season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, especially for Buffy as she's adjusting to this new era in her life as she's in UC Sunnydale. We've had her adjust to college as a whole, to Kathy, to Parker, who I never thought for 1 second he was cute. Never. He's always been a bellend. Just twitching. It's just my eyes. Yeah. It's been a roller coaster, and I'm really excited to see where things do proceed with this episode as we move on to Fear itself, which is a very, very ominous title. I'm really looking forward to this. So with that said, let's get into episode number 4 for season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's go.
It does appear to be mocking you with its eye holes.
Yet its nose hole seems sad and full of self-loathing. What do you think, Buff?
Oh.
Pumpkin. It's a freak with no face.
She's still suffering a little post-Parker.
But at least it's got its
Bailing on the
guts.
Buff. Does anyone else want to smack that guy?
We'll all smack him together.
Ooh, didn't encourage her, did he?
Where's supportive boyfriend guy?
Oh, he's picking up your dry cleaning, but he told me to tell you he's afraid you're gonna get hurt.
Okay, Brutus. Brutus. A Caesar? Betrayal? Trusted friend? Backstabby?
I'm with you on the reference, but I won't lie about the fact that I worry. I know
Oh,
what it's like to have...
Besides, I think I'm gonna have to patrol anyway.
Tonight, but it's Halloween.
I'll double check with Giles, but I'm sure he's
what
gonna think
happened
I
a
should be
few
on
years
active
ago,
Slayer
though,
duty.
Willow?
He doesn't care about Halloween.
Ethan.
Hello, Buffy.
Oh my god.
It's alive! See how he shakes.
I'm loving this
Is there
more
something you want?
enthusiastic
Well, I was
Giles,
thinking
just
the next patrol
saying.
tonight. You know, possibly the cemetery, or if you had a better... Could you please take that off?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, he's keeping it on for the rest of the season.
You were sensing?
No.
Asks.
Oh, no, I understand that inane ritual. It's those people. I mean, you continue to associate with them, though you share little in common.
What are you talking about?
I mean, they go to college, you don't. They no longer live at home.
They're still besties.
You do.
Well, hey,
Scary how?
Anya, you, ex-demon, terrorized mankind for centuries. I'm sure you'll come up with something.
Exactly. She's just gonna somehow be able to transcend
Professor
into her
Walsh.
demon self.
Oh,
nice costume. Yes.
There is some good scary fun to be had on campus tonight.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I am gonna sit here and grade papers.
Scary.
Very.
Well,
It is
thanks
for the
pep talk,
students.
Don't make fun. I work long and hard to get this pompous.
Coach. No, I mean it.
You're welcome.
I think Buffy needed, like, that talk with Riley.
Disturbance in the Force, Master?
And our left speaker's crackling a little bit.
And you feel stabbing is the proper solution?
I'm just gonna trim the wire. Might be a short.
That reference. Also
Us?
make a great Jedi Master.
Cut myself. It's okay.
Playing with knives? Fun, yes, but not safe.
Yo, man, you bleed to death. I got dibs on your equipment.
Oh no.
Fear? I didn't believe I could trust anyone again. It's taken time and a lot of effort, but I've got a nice circle of friends now.
It's that leap of
I mean,
faith.
don't get me wrong, I'm still a little gun-shy. It certainly didn't help that my last boyfriend turned out to be a homicidal robot.
No, but
I will always
it's
be here for you.
unique.
And you've got Mr. Giles and your
Oh wow. Unless they are actual
Sarah?
eyeballs from the
What you got in the basket, little girl?
Weapons.
Oh,
I was almost burned at the stake. And plus, she had that close relationship with God.
And you are?
Ah, touche.
Wish I thought of that before I put down my deposit. I could have been God.
Blasphemer.
This is an act. Oh, she dead. That's great. What the fudge?
Like a squeaking noise?
Oh, it's
It's
these rugged
Amy.
shoes, patent leather. I asked the guy to bring
No,
them
no,
in.
no, wait. It's something else. I hear it too. It's something like.
Oh no, it's bats.
Or it might be something else.
Anya's a bunny. Oh my goodness. Oh, Anya.
What is it?
It's alive. It's alive.
Oh no. Oh, okay, that's freaky as shit. I don't like that.
Chaz, what happened here? I think the cake took most of it.
Let me see.
I was gonna say, so did they
Get a
just
bandage or something.
animate and then de-animate?
And how's it work?
It conjures an emissary from the beyond that lights the way.
Conjuring. Well, let's be realistic here, okay? Your basic spells are usually only about 50-50.
Oh, yeah?
Oh no.
Well, so's your face.
Oh!
What?
I'm sure part of it's because of how you've been pushing away girl lately. But now's not the time to let that stuff tear us apart. What
Well,
I'm saying
speaking of
is
tearing
I'm
apart, you
right
split
with
the
you,
party
right
in
by your
this
side.
haunted house.
Funny how you still haven't lost your sense of inappropriate humor.
She has ignored him. I was wondering, has
Xander,
she
where did you
ignored
go?
him?
Buffy, knock it out.
Oh,
Skip over, I'm right here.
This is so typical of him.
Typical.
He's not here.
But you can't. There's no moon tonight.
Reality's like wibbly wobbly.
We need to find something to restrain you, like a rope or chains or something.
There's no time.
I can do the guiding spell. I know I can make it work.
Will, please.
No.
Oh. This is freaky. I don't like this episode. I don't like this episode. It's all kinds of eerie.
You're not gonna change. You're not gonna change. You're not gonna change.
Oh,
You're not gonna change. You're not gonna change. You're not gonna change.
What's going on? Stop. Stop it.
oh no. Oh, shh. This backfired so bad. Oh no. We just demolish this house once we're done with it.
They all ran away from you. They always will. Open your heart to someone and... But don't
Don't,
fret, little
dude.
girl.
Don't.
You're not alone. Anymore.
This is morbid. What the hell is this episode?
Well,
And he's bouncing in the cold like a rabbit.
You can see me? Good. Oh,
Fears
God,
be
good.
The
gone.
house separated us. Like it wanted to scare us.
Tap into your
we got away.
deeper fears.
No. We were brought here.
Good plan. Let's go.
See, this is what I'm meaning. Out of context, this is like...
Giles? Hey, everyone, it's Giles. With a
Anya.
chainsaw. Glad you could make it.
Two ways. Destroying the mark of Gaknar.
I mean, that works.
Is not one of them, and will in fact immediately bring forth the fear demon itself.
Oh, for God's sake. He's a small demon. Are you kidding me?
Big overture.
You can squish him.
Show.
I am the Dark Lord of Nightmares.
Buffy, when it comes to slaying,
Size doesn't matter?
They're all going to abandon you, you know.
Yeah.
I
quality
just can't
freaks
with
here,
this
Giles.
show. I love
Please,
this show
finish them.
so freaking
Yours is
much.
much better.
inscription under the illustration of Gaknar.
What's it say?
Actual size.
Oh. At least we, got rid of it. So, yeah. Size. Oh my God. I gotta say, that was a fun twist, though. Like, oh, this demon's gonna be terrifying, and because, yeah, it's a small one. It's a small little itty demon. I think they should have kept it, to be fair, and then just put it in the cage. Put it with Amy, yeah. You know what? I love this show so much. What I really loved about this episode was not just the fact that it brought the characters. We had another look into characters, like in each individual characters and what they fear. But for the majority of the episode, it was horrifying. It was very, very dark and very, very scary, and it had that terrifying presence. And then those final few minutes, it's so light-hearted, it's so comical, and they have the right balance. I just love this show so freaking much. I just can't with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I really enjoyed going into that episode. Like, that ending was especially funny with the fact that I think it was the build-up. Like, you saw that Giles was, like, worrying that there was more with this demon, and then it turns out that the translation was his actual size, which would have kind of saved them a bit less hassle, wouldn't it? But I think the payoff was just absolutely great. No, I really loved this episode. I thought it was a great I feel like sequel to the episode Halloween. Whilst I think that episode is a bit more stronger, I really loved what they were going for, especially with the identities of certain all of the main cast, should I say, because we explored their own fears, even if they weren't affected by this haunted house. And that was another thing that I really, really loved. It took place within this haunted house that was taken to the extreme. And also how this kind of parallels to nightmares, because I was thinking partway through the episode, this does kind of remind me with nightmares, with things coming to life, especially how it affects people personally. And we saw nightmares based on people's thoughts come to life. In this episode, we had the Scooby's fears come to fruition. So I really loved how this episode really did. Also, like, it wasn't just bizarre, but it was also exploring all of the characters and what was going on with them, like for Buffy especially. And I feel like this is a concept that I can definitely relate to, and it's that fear of loneliness. It's that fear of being alone, especially with the people leaving her, the people meaning a big deal in her life just leaving her, whether it was her father, whether it's Angel, whether it's Parker just using her, it's that fear of being alone. And same Buffy, same definitely. I think that would be a very. I mean, you kind of saw it as well with the Willow and Buffy friendship tearing apart in that sequence where Willow insulted her face. Like Willow and Buffy have such a really, really nice relationship in terms of their friendship, and this would hurt both parties if their friendship were to tear. So, yeah. But like I said, I could relate with Buffy about being alone, like especially with relationships, and that's one of my main worries, that like this person will leave me for someone better, and that eventually my story will just end with me alone at the end of the day. Like that'll be it. That'll be it. No happily ever after, all that jazz. So, yeah, I can relate, Buffy. But and it's not just that though. It's not just relationships that's affecting Buffy, as I've just stated, but it's also other connections as well, like not those that are not as romantic. The same with me as well with friends. Like that's what I worry about, especially with friends. Like I fear that my friends will leave me one day. They'll just reach a certain level where they just cannot tolerate me anymore, and then that's it. So yeah, there was a nice theme of identification I could feel with Buffy, that resonating tone that I felt with her and her fears. We also got to explore all of the other characters as well, and how their fears consumed them. With Willow and her magic, she's been wanting to do it, and there's these concerns that you're not going to be able to do it effectively. And we saw her spell backfire on her with those bugs, which is very, very nightmarish, like especially if they were to consume her. We had Oz's fear as well, which I thought was really nice, and it was something touched up upon before the whole I feel like the whole house manifestation thing, which was him battling with his darker self. He had that talk about him becoming something darker, and he's terrified about it, and we saw that come into the haunted house area. So yeah, I really thought that was I thought that was a really, really good concept to use, like Oz's fear of a darker version of himself, like his werewolf form, should I say. And Xander as well, feeling invisible. And I did, that was so great, because, not for Xander, it wasn't so great with, he was being, isolated. But I had hunches when, and then it dropped, didn't it? So I had hunches. Wait, is he being ignored? Because Buffy's repeating what he is saying. And it doesn't make sense. And then, boom. So I thought that was really, really great stuff. But I felt so bad for Xander, with that feeling of him being invisible, especially with the fact that they're all going to college and he isn't. He is struggling to decide where he fits with the group, with everyone going to college. So, yeah, and like I said, there was people who weren't affected by the house that we got to explore their fears as well. With Giles, I think he wants to feel a lot more involved, especially since he hasn't got a job, and Buffy is no longer associated with the Watchers. We've got Anya, and she revealed about her fear of bunnies as well. But also, I think there's that mounting pressure that she's gonna lose Xander as well. She thought, okay, well maybe I could be over and done with this. Me and you have sex, and then you're off my mind. And then we explored that there were deeper feelings, especially with Anya, and she worried about Xander when he was trapped in the house as well. She didn't give a hoot about the others, but she worried so much about Xander, and yeah, I think that speaks volumes about how she how she does care for Xander so much, how their relationship has grown. So I really loved how this episode did explore the fears of these characters. There were some levels of there was some characters that had more than one, I guess, like battle with their fears. As I mentioned with Willow and Buffy, I feel like they have their own retrospective fears, like with her being alone and Willow and her not being able to be ready for her magic, but also their friendship that was put to the test, because they definitely there would definitely be a kick in the gut for like both parties if that friendship were to fracture. I also like the fact that Buffy did chose to dress up as Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know, I think that does fit her so well. So I really, really like that. And I've liked the bit of backstory with Joyce as well. Like, she's mentioned about how she has struggled ever since she moved to Sunnydale, and how she has felt alone. And it was nice to touch up about her character as well. So and how she's coped ever since the move. And yeah, like with Buffy echoing these feelings of feeling alone, it was nice for Joyce to try and help her out as well as Riley as well. Like, I thought Riley was a good contribution at trying to pick Buffy back on her feet, because that's the thing, Buffy's trying to find her footing, especially with the whole Parker ordeal. And I think she managed to have some really, really nice words of advice from Riley and her mother, of course. So I thought that was really, really nice stuff as well. But yeah, I thought the episode played out really, really well, especially the like nightmarish scenario taking place in that house of terror. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice concept in exploring their fears. And like I said, I loved how this episode progressed into something that was so horrific, and like for the majority of the episode it was so horrific and nightmarish and very, very intimidating in terms of the tone. And then we end with the demon arising, and he's only small and you could literally squash him. So I thought that's what I love. There's that balance, there's that darkness, and then there's that humor, and it works so well. So yeah, I really, really loved it. And also we have to keep Giles with his sombrero. Did I say it right? Yeah, because that is awesome. But yeah, I really loved how this episode proceeded. I thought for a Halloween episode, this was a nice change of pace from what we got in Halloween, because I was thinking with that spider animating, is this going to be something similar to what Ethan did? But it was more rather something similar to what Nightmares presented itself with, rather than the nightmares that people would have. It was projecting the fears that people had, their own personal fears. So I really loved how this episode did proceed. So yeah, this was a decent episode for Buffy. I just loved how this played out. It was very, very WTF. Like, especially with everything that was happening. And even at the end, it was very WTF, because you thought that this demon would be some kind of, like, massive, big deal that Buffy was not capable of taking on. And yeah, I just loved how this episode played out. But yes, this was absolutely smashing. So yeah, I loved this. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my Media Beats channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoy this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!